And her dog down to safety. News 4 Tucson's Lupita Murillo has the latest developments.
When the Drexel Heights Fire Department paramedics rescued the woman and her dog, they dropped off the dog first here at the Ajo Veterinary Clinic. Then they kept on going to the hospital.
The dog owner did get hurt, and she's going to be okay.
Chief is a 4-year-old pit bull mix who was lost for 7 days.
Somebody had recently been hiking in that area. It's at the end of the Tucson Mountains, and they saw a dog out there, gave it some water, took pictures of it, came back, posted it on social media.
Kozlowski says Chief's owner and her mother hiked up the rugged trail and found Chief, but the owner hurt her ankle in the process, and the mother then called 911.
The dog heard their voices, recognized her voice and her mother's voice.
No, not interested.
Chief doesn't have much of an appetite yet, but is extremely thirsty.
He looked pretty crappy when he came in this morning, but he's really doing very well. We've gotten him rehydrated.
The owner and her mother were just overwhelmed with emotion, just super excited to have their loved one back.
Dogs are tough. They are really tough.
Much better.
The vet says Chief is doing so well, he'll probably be going home within the next 24 hours. Lupita Murillo, News for Tucson.
During the monsoon, parts of Tucson gets way too much water, but at other times of the year, the city struggles to get enough water. Some say curb cutting is the solution. Curb cuts allow for stormwater to drain off the street and into the dirt, but there's some pushback from some city officials on allowing new housing developments to get in on it. Right now, the city allows curb cuts in some neighborhoods as long as the water that's captured is used on public property.
We are seeing more frequent large storms. So why not put that water to get it to work for us as a positive rather than a negative?
If you're interested in using stormwater for your personal property through curb cutting, it's now a possibility. City Council discussed that in today's meeting, and it passed. Matt.
All right, John, happening now, tracking a catastrophic Category 5 Hurricane Maria awfully close to the U.S. Virgin Islands. In fact, latest track from the Hurricane Center, 50 miles south-southeast of St. Croix. That's the southernmost of the American Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands. Category 5 looks like it heads right over San Juan, Puerto Rico as potentially still a Category 4 or even 5, then heads on up well east of the eastern seaboard of the U.S. But once again, the last thing they need to see after Irma just went through there in the last couple of weeks as well. Low 90s right now as the sun begins to set out there on our western skies. Rest of Metro Tucson and the upper 80s to lower 90s. We have cooler weather to talk about. We'll get you that when I see you back here in just a few minutes.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Well, at the top of the hour, we showed you an earthquake drill in Mexico City, a reminder to a deadly 8.0 quake back in 1985. And 32 years later, to the day, another deadly earthquake happened, this time a little closer to Mexico City, registering at 7.1 magnitude. People poured into the streets, fleeing destructive dangers. Mexican authorities say over 100 people have been killed.
What was once a thriving business is now struggling because of fewer shoppers crossing the border. Many in the Nogales area are fighting to keep the doors open. News 4 Tucson's Zach Briggs visited some businesses that have been there for decades. It's new at 6.
Debbie Bracker-Sende remembers a time when downtown Nogales was the place to be, vibrant and filled with energy.
There were people on the streets. It was shoulder to shoulder.
Over the years, business fell off. Bracker's department store, a staple of Nogales, now planning to close its doors after 93 years.
It's just very sad. Nobody ever thought that this would happen.
That includes people like Fina Garcia, whose relationship with the Brackers family goes back decades.
I worked for many years, since I was 14. I started here as a cashier. I loved it. I'm so sad to see them go.
Mexican shoppers account for over 80% of Bracker's customer base. Debbie says the devaluation of the peso and increasing border wait times have made it financially difficult.
People would come 3, 4, 5 times a week, and with the border crossing being so long, maybe they would come once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks.
According to Nogales Community Development, buying habits on both sides of the border may have changed. Big box stores in Mexico now serve as competition. Officials say community engagement is vital to figure out how to enhance the city. As for Debbie, she's holding out hope in the future of Nogales.
Get people in Nogales, get people through the border, get these tax dollars into our community, help the people.
Zach Briggs, News 4 Tucson.
Mexican truckers are taking advantage of a safety training program put on by the Arizona Department of Transportation. It's a first of its kind program here in the United States, giving commercial truck drivers an idea of what to anticipate when going through safety inspections at the border. One goal is to make border crossings for Mexican truck drivers more fluid. There's also financial gain by holding these training sessions.
It helps the economy since time is money, and we do a lot of business with Mexico, and essentially this helps us move product more efficiently through the port, and it benefits economies on both sides of the border.
And so far, more than 80 drivers have taken this course.
Arizona Congressman Raul Grijalva was arrested this afternoon. It happened outside Trump Tower in Manhattan. Grijalva and other lawmakers joined a crowd sitting in the streets outside the building. They were protesting the president's stance on the DACA program. Protest organizers said prior to the event that the lawmakers plan to get arrested. He has been released. And developing in Marana, police are looking for a man caught on surveillance video breaking into vehicles. The series of burglaries happened in the Gladden Farms neighborhood on September 10th. Marana PD says he stole several credit cards and a tablet, then tried to use one of the cards at a local Walmart. The man is described as Caucasian, man bun hairstyle, light facial hair, and a tattoo on his left forearm. Call 88 Crime with any information.
Fort Huachuca law enforcement and Border Patrol agents from the Brian A. Terry Station arrested 3 people on human smuggling charges. It happened Sunday evening near Sierra Vista. Fort Huachuca officials called Border Patrol for assistance after agents arrested a U.S. citizen and 2 Mexican nationals. After a search, agents found fake law enforcement equipment, including a realistic handgun that fires BBs and fraudulent federal investigation with the driver's information and photograph.
It's not likely that this person used these before, but they were in his possession, so we had to take that as a serious concern. But fortunately, we don't have any indications at this time that they were used in any other crime or any other smuggling attempt.
Agents seized the contraband and Fort Huachuca officials impounded the vehicle.
University of Arizona engineering students and Apex Applied Technology partnered to create a desalination bus for a school in the Navajo Nation. Star School received the school bus, which doubles as a mobile water treatment system. It will help supply the community with drinkable and accessible water. This is UA and Apex 3rd water purification system, but the first to be built into a school bus.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services says the Sonoyta mud turtle is in danger of extinction. Experts say there are 5 known populations remaining here in southern Arizona and the rest in Sonora, Mexico, less than 20% of their historic range. The rare pocket-sized turtle has been listed under the Endangered Species Act. Protection will go into effect on October 20th.
It is Child Passenger Safety Week, a good time to make sure car seats are fitted into vehicles correctly. News 4 Tucson's Allison Alexander joins us at the TechNet Center with tips to ensure your most precious cargo stays safe on the roads.
Most parents think they're using their child's safety seat correctly, but statistics reveal the majority aren't. According to AAA, there are 5 common mistakes parents make when installing car seats. The first one, moving children out of a booster seat too soon. Arizona law requires children who are between 5 and 8 and 57 inches or less use a booster seat. Not installing the car seat tightly enough. Your child's safety seat shouldn't move side to side or front to back more than 1 inch when tested. Having the harness straps too loose. Be sure the harness is snug enough that you can't pinch any extra material at your child's shoulder. Having the retainer clip too low. Parents should always place the retainer clip at armpit level. And turning your child forward facing too soon. A child should remain in a rear facing seat as long as possible until they reach the upper weight or height limit allowed by the car seat manufacturer. At the TechNet Center, Allison Alexander, News 4 Tucson.
Coming up on News 4 Tucson at 6, officials tackle acres of prairie dog holes as they fight off the plague.
Plus, we'll have a preview of some Friday night action fight-wise right here in the Old Pueblo. Matt?
All right, John, warm day of weather across southeastern Arizona, upper 80s to lower 90s, but tracking a much more fall-like air mass moving in. I'll let you know when and how long it sticks around. See you back here in just a few minutes.
investigating for you. This is News 4 Tucson. John Overall, Angelique Lizardi, Paul Sakala, and Matt Brode. This is News 4 Tucson, live at 6.
New developments on Arizona's recent outbreak of plague. The Arizona Game and Fish Department partnered with the Kaibab National Forest to spray insecticidal dust in prairie dog holes. It's happening in the Williams and Flagstaff areas. Plague-infested fleas are taking over those areas right now. Officials recently sprayed nearly 700 acres and an additional 899 acres for traveling flea carriers such as coyotes and foxes.
Okay, right now let's take a live look outside via the News 4 Tucson Skynet camera. Aw, that's a nice sunset. You're looking at Broadway and Wilmot.
And don't go away. When we come back, we'll show you the Jack in the Box Player of the Week. We'll be right back. Just saying.
So it's slowly but surely cooling down,
John, yeah, John was just saying that it's going to get a little bit cooler out there.
I know, and I'm saying I love it.
Biting at the chops there, getting ready for that. And that cooler air, not going to have to wait that much longer for. Fall begins Friday, right? Right.
Thumbs up.
Usually it starts fall here, then we got to wait 3 weeks, 4 weeks to feel cooler. Not this year, not this time around. All right, let's look at our time lapse, and we can see this morning, looking on the east side of town, as that sun came up over the horizon. Look at that, some clouds worked their way. Now we're going to take you to the opposite side of the skyline and show you The west side, look at that sun as it makes its descent over the Tucson Mountains out west. 92 last check of the airport. Skies have cleared out pretty substantially. 47 to dew point dry air mass and west-southwest winds at 11 miles per hour. They've been a story today to a certain extent, but they've started to really abate as we make our way into the evening hours. All right, temperatures across town. Upper 80s Corona de Tucson, Saurita, and we're into the low 90s across most of the city of Tucson. 66 on the mountaintop. How about that? It's 80 in Sonoyta, 81 in Wilcox, 80 in Bisbee, 84 in Douglas. So the plan for tonight looks like this. We'll trade in those 80s for 70s by about 10 o'clock. So, hey, nice sleeping weather. Good time of year to begin thinking at least about opening up those windows, saving on the old AC bill, of course. Here's our wind speeds, currents, still kind of strong, 23. These are gusts anyway at Tucson International. 23 in Marana. Rest of the district anywhere from about 15 really to 25 miles per hour. High temps today, mid-90s. That's a couple degrees above average by about 2. 94 is the average high. 100 still up in Phoenix, but all that's going to start to change as we do look at a pretty substantial storm system well to our north. It's our late week cool down, bringing snow to western Montana, the Bitterroots. And looks like a big area of high pressure is going to build up across the eastern states, and that's going to not allow this area of low pressure to kind of trek across the country too quickly as it normally would. And as a result, it's going to be sort of a prolonged period of somewhat cooler air temperatures. We'll get to that in your extended forecast. Here's futurecast, though. By tomorrow, we'll see just a couple of showers, mostly into the state of Chihuahua, northern Mexico, western Texas. And as we come into the day on Thursday, just still breezy. Then as we make our way into Friday, it looks like all the showers in New Mexico after seeing maybe some rain-snow mix in the Sierra Nevadas of California. So looking a little bit more fall-like. Forecast, and for tonight, we'll keep things into the upper 60s to low 70s. Daytime highs tomorrow into the mid-90s. Mostly sunny, but breezy again. Could see those winds gusting up to about 30 miles per hour. Comfy tonight in Wilcox and Tombstone. Nighttime lows into the 50s. Breezy for the next 72 hours, and that usually brings the changes, those winds of change as we talk about. For Fall Football Friday, of course, Cats home. 89 are high, and look at those highs Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Mid-80s with nighttime lows into the upper 50s. I tested you guys at 5 o'clock. Now I'll just tell you, 121 days since Tucson officially has seen temperatures into the 50s, and now it's in the forecast.
I know. It's here. Yeah, all right. Thank you, Matt.
All right. Now, a quick look at what we are working on for 10 o'clock tonight. News 4 Tucson got into contact with a woman from southern Arizona who's going to school in Mexico City. Her account of the chaos that unfolded after that massive earthquake rocked the city. Paul.
Hey, sports is in the mix now. The countdown is on Friday for Fight Night right here in the old Pueblo. Nogales-born, Tucson-raised world champ Oscar Valdez is heading up the fight card that'll be live on ESPN as he defends his WBO championship belt. We have insight on all the fights on the card with All Unbeaten Fighters on KVOA.com. And one of the more intriguing undercards includes Irish Olympic medalist Michael Mick Conlon taking on Kenny Guzman. This is Conlon working out at an undisputed gym just north of downtown Tucson. He won a bronze medal in the 2012 Olympics, and as a gold medal favorite, he lost on a controversial decision in the 2016 Olympics in Brazil in the quarterfinals to Russia's Vladimir Nikitin. Conlon gained more fame by raising his middle fingers to the judges, who were later dismissed, and delivering strongly worded F-bombs on the corruption in amateur boxing.
Describe how much burn you have inside after that controversial loss in the Olympics for you to continue to excel at the professional level now.
Something that will be with me forever, and you know, I feel that it's been the biggest benefactor of my career so far. You know, it's pushed me to be with Top Rank, it's pushed me to be here in America, and it's pushed me to want to be a multiple weight world champion. So, you know, I feel that it has a big burn inside.
More with Mick tonight at 10, including some of his favorite spots and things to do in Tucson. Moving on, it's no secret Rincon High School has struggled over the years to put together a winning football team, but it all came together for the Rangers against Rio Rico as Rincon notched his first victory of the year. Ari Alexander joins us with more on the outstanding game of our Jack in the Box Player of the Week.
After an 0-4 start, the Rincon Rangers needed some sort of change, but you don't just make one of your tailbacks a quarterback in the middle of the season, do you?
He just gave us our best shot in terms of moving the ball and scoring points. We were looking at doing it against Buena, but as you mentioned, it was unorthodox, and we felt it might have been a little half-baked to just do it a week earlier.
Our Jack-in-the-Box Player of the Week, Roman McDowell, says he hasn't played quarterback in a game since Pop Warner.
It just comes naturally to me because I've been playing for so long. It felt great, and I was confident. My team was confident in me. Coaches were confident, and it just came together.
All he did, lead Rincon to the team's first win of the season while putting up more than 300 yards of total offense and 3 touchdowns on homecoming.
Oh, I have complete confidence in him, and one thing that I would say was he got better as the game went along, and hopefully we can see that consistently for the next few opponents that we have, is that he just constantly gets a little more comfortable and fills into his role.
Now with the added dimension, Rincon has some big goals.
Win out the rest of the season, that's our goal. Hopefully, that's a big hope, but make playoffs, but I have a feeling we could do it with this position switch.
Winning out and making the playoffs are ambitious, but so switching quarterbacks in the middle of the year. And so far, that's worked out for the Rangers. Ari Alexander, News for Tucson.
Thanks a lot, Ari. Of course, defense wins championship, but hey, it helps when you have a quarterback coming out of the woodwork just like that. All right, we'll be right back with some U of A basketball. The red and blue game is right around the corner. We have that complete schedule just released today after the break. How's your energy, Southern Arizona? Good evening to you. I'm Paul Seacaller. Welcome back. We are just about a month away from the Arizona Wildcat basketball team taking the court in front of a sold-out McHale Center crowd for the red-blue game. I was about to say red, white, and blue, getting patriotic here. And now the complete 2017-2018 schedule is being released. We have it all on KVOA.com. And here are a few highlights. Arizona will only play basketball rival UCLA once. It'll be on February 8th in Tucson. There'll be a dozen games on ESPN's family of networks, 3 more with Fox Sports 1, national games on CBS and Fox, and a full slate on the Pac-12 network. We have a lot more details on KVOA.com, including some of their games against UConn, Alabama, NAU, Long Beach State, and then some.
All right, we are taking a closer step toward fall. Going to finally start feeling a lot more like it as well.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you at 10. Inside Edition is next.